Alright, let's try and get into this, because it's the stupid is heating up, as was said. On the pure topic of your bias is bigger than my bias, and just what could only be called stupid is, as more than stupid does. Basically, Antifa and Conservatives in Philadelphia, basically there was a thing. I'll try and keep my elbows off the table so I don't shake it, but it's going to be what it's going to be. First off, there's bias in how this story is being reported. The left/CNN's gone with the headline, "Conservative Exodus Driven from Restaurant by Antifa Group." It's clearly the victory is on the side of Antifa because the conservatives lost when they were driven from the restaurant. And of course, the right in Fox News is Antifa protesters accost conservatives, and they make sure to name drop that it was Charlie Kirk and Owens. So it's like already, just from the headlines, from the way the story is being drawn to people, one side is, yay, the left win, the other side is, that violent left, they're attacking the right, and so on. So let's look at what actually happened. Okay, Conservative Exodus, Charlie Kirk and Owens of Turning Points USA were accosted Monday outside of a Philadelphia restaurant by a group hurling profanities such as F white supremacists, no good cops in a racist system, and cops and Klan hand in hand. In video footage posted on Owens' Twitter page, the protesters can be seen shouting and blowing whistles in the duo's face while chanting slogans. One of the protesters also dumped a bottle of water on Kirk. Owens remarked to a black police officer, and again, we have to drop the races of everybody involved in this so that we're all properly thinking, apparently. That it was bizarre to her that there's a bunch of white people saying no racists, no good cops, when all the cops there were black. And now then she contradicts herself when she tells CNN that the racial split of the scene was jarring, with the mostly black and Hispanic police officers, so apparently they were black and Hispanic, not all black, officers barricading Kirk and her from white protesters. But apparently all the protesters were right. I thought Antifa were masked, so who knows. Owens, like Kirk, blames California's Democratic Representative Maxine Waters, who encouraged attendees to protest Trump administration officials whenever possible at a June rally in Los Angeles, which she did do. It was basically advocating, hey, let's go get these people. It's, this is America, rather than solve it by election and vote or the Constitution. And, rather than follow the law, let's just all go be vigilantes. It was what Maxine Waters was advocating. And if anybody wants to say, well, this wasn't the real Antifa, it's Antifa's anti-fascist, and this was craziness. The problem is a group called Philly Antifa, Philly Antifa, members of which describe themselves as anti-authoritarian and anti-nationalist. Okay, you can describe yourself as anti-something, but what you actually do is what you are. They took credit. They said this was them. They are a chapter of the Antifa movement, which is supposed to stand for anti-fascist, but they're all looking forward to bashing someone and getting something in. So we're clear on what this evil fascist organization that they were trying to go against was. Turning Points USA is an American conservative right-wing nonprofit organization whose mission is to educate students about free markets and economics. It was founded on June 5th, 2012 by Kirk. And who's Owens? She is an American conservative commenter and activist. She is known for her conservative and pro-Trump. Well, that must be why she's a fascist. She's fascist because she's pro-Trump, apparently. Commentary, as well as her criticism of Black Lives Matter and, in general, the Democratic Party. So that's what's going on here. I'm going to go ahead and put links in the description where you have a link to both the CNN article and the Fox News article. The really funny thing is this is getting bad enough and bigoted enough and extremist enough on the far left that while CNN did report it with the very biased headline of conservative activists driven from restaurant by Antifa group, when you actually go into the details of their story, you know, they're the ones saying, this is insanity. You have white people telling black people they're white supremacists and racist, and saying black cops are racist, and so on. We have officially gone off the far left deep end. Even CNN's calling it that way in the details of the story, which they know half people won't read. As long as they put the party line headline that says, yeah, conservatives got it, well then, you know, everything's good. This is an insanity in the United States that is going to be heading up. This is one of the few stories where the center basically considered this a non-news event. As crazy as it sounds, and I know those of you on the far right saying, well, but no, all media is biased except for Fox News and everything else is fake news. No, the reality is you have media that's very left-leaning and very biased that way, and media that's very right-leaning and biased that way like Fox News, and then you have more centralist, more nuanced media that risks alienating both, and at times an op-ed leans one way or the other, but all in all tends to balance out. And it shows by the fact that for the most part, they're not covering this story. You know, to them this is a non-thing. This is, the two dummies are doing things again. It's a little disturbing that in the United States of America, we have extremists that are so disconnected from reality, that are just so blinded by their hate that they will literally, in their mind, it makes sense to say someone is a white supremacist when they're being, and that police are all racist, when the person they are attacking is African American, being protected by African American police. That is the point we are at in the United States. That some people are that bigoted, and these are supposedly our anti-fascists. Sent's been quoted as saying, well, fascism is here and it's ugly. Oh, he's absolutely right. This is what fascism looks like. A group of people who, regardless of the facts, go so far off that ideology matters far more than what they're doing, and they're just being pointed at something and told, hate that. And they're so locked up in it, they're going to do it. Now, I'm not saying this is only happening on the left. This is also happening on the far right. But we're heading into midterms here in America. We need to be paying attention, and the headlines are already trying to lead us. The bias is showing, and the reality is this is being fueled by stupidity. This is just stupidity all around. Hi, everyone. You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations. Almost no one does. At least that's what the analytics say here on YouTube. Since you made it this far, you might want to consider going one more click and expanding that description down there, and go ahead and clicking over to Patreon and become a patron and contributor. If not, you'll also find it over in the channel page. But hey, regardless, there's this like-dislike thing, so by all means, downvote if you think I should shut up, or upvote if you'd like to hear more. And if you really feel inclined to do, at least you can do a subscribe. But hey, it's up to you.